Hey, welcome back to Lloyd's Crazy Wild Wilderness. Today we're going to go over how to make traditional archery gear for those archers who maybe are on a budget. Or maybe even those archers who just want to be different. They don't want to look like every other archer out there. So we're going to go over how to make a wrist guard, a bow glove, and a quiver. And I'll show you right now. It's easy, and we're going to go over the steps, how to make it, and what you'll need to make it. Now we'll start with the arm guard first. You're going to need an extra large piece of gyrofoam and 2 old belts. I'm going to be using leather belts just because it gives it a more traditional feel. For the blow glove, you're going to need a 9-inch paper plate, a black Sharpie, and just traditional run-of-the-mill packing tape. For our traditional hip quiver, you're going to need a power drill, a bungee cord, and a Pringles can. It doesn't matter what kind of Pringles you use, whether it's barbecue like I'm using here, or you can use original, sour cream, or even their cheddar. Now for the wrist guard first. You're going to want to take your 2 belts. Like I said, I'm using leather just to be a little bit more traditional. You're going to lay them flat on the table like this. Put your arm down over the belts. Put the first one as close to the wrist as possible. The second one, judging on how big of a piece of styrofoam you have, match it with that. Take your styrofoam, place it on your wrist. Then it takes a little bit. You take the belt and you loop it through. Sometimes you might want to loop it through first, just to get it there. Yeah, see how I have it at a half loop? Do the same with your other belt. Get it at a half loop, right there. Now insert your gyrophone. Like I said, have the top of it right at the base of your palm, top of your wrist, and you want to tighten those belts down. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. I paused it there for a second just so you didn't have to watch me put the whole thing on. I feel like you got the gist of it. But if you did it right, yours will look similar to something like this, where you have your 2 belts, your gyrofoam. It perfectly blocks the wrist. All right, now let's move on to the bow glove. All right, now for the bow glove, we have our 9-inch paper plate, our Sharpie, black Sharpie marker, and our traditional, just regular packing tape. All right, what you're going to want to do here is you take your bow hand and you place it on the plate. You take the black Sharpie marker and trace out your bow glove hand. What I don't think I mentioned on the video is you will need a pair of scissors, because we're going to cut out perfectly our traced image of our bow hand. That way it's an exact fit for each archer. So with the bow glove you will need a pair of scissors. All right. So I've got my hand traced out. Now I'm going to cut it out. You don't need to see that part of the video. So I'm going to cut that out, and then we're going to go on to the next step. Alright, I got my bow glove all trimmed out. Here's the excess stuff. You don't need any of that. We're not going to save that. Here's my custom hand, basically. Now, you're going to want to put your palm down on the face of the plate, not the back. See how the fingers are curved? That's going to give you extra grip while you're shooting. So you're going to want to place your hand, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but placing my hand on the opposite side, you actually trace down. Now you're going to want to take your tape. And now I left a little bit on the bottom just to go around my wrist. You can grip it with your thumb a little bit. Yep, so easy. You cut it just like that. And then bow glove. I apologize. Got a little bit of a cold this week, so I started sneezing towards the end of that part. But as you can see, perfect bow glove. See how it fits around the hand, contours around the fingers? You're not going to have any problem shooting with this glove. Now we're going to move on to the traditional quiver. Alright, moving on to the traditional quiver. You're going to want your Pringles can, a power drill, and a bungee cord. Now for this, you want to see how it lines up on your hip, because this isn't a back quiver. For those, you can write comments on my video on how to make a back quiver. I have made back quivers out of these, but I just like the hip quiver. It works better for me. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take our can. Sometimes I like to have the picture facing out. So I'll go towards the nutritional facts on the back. And I'll take my power drill. I don't know if you can see this. And I'll make one little hole. Sometimes, because these cans can be pretty tough. Yep, there you go. As you can see, make one hole on that side of the nutritional facts, and then you just go right to the opposite side of the nutritional facts, and you screw it in there. Oh, lost the tip on that one, but pull it right back out. Now you have your two holes right there. So I'm going to stand up for this because it's a hip quiver. Don't mind little Mickey over there. Alright, so you're going to take your traditional Pringles can, you hook the loop of the bungee cord, and then pull it around your waist. Get that on video. Oh, silly. I did it the wrong way. So you're gonna loop it around your waist just like this. You hook it into that other side. See how that works? You turn it depending on how you like your hip quivers. I like mine a little to the side. Pull that up, and I'll demonstrate an arrow in it in just a second. Okay, so I got my hip quiver on. I've got an arrow. Perfect. Just draw, shoot, draw, shoot. Well, I hope that helped you make traditional gear. Like I said, for those on a budget or those who just want to be different. If you like my page, subscribe. Leave comments on the bottom of what you thought I could have done better. All right, Lloyd out.